make a Jenigami Igloo. This is a little igloo with a fun little penguin inside. What I've done is I've printed the coloured card from the CD back and front, and I've glued both sides together. As you can see though, I haven't necessarily cut out all parts of the igloo. That's up to you. I think this would also look really good cut from really glittery card as well. We have lots of sections here. We have the very front of the igloo. We have the back of the igloo, which has a straight line at the top. We have the two sides of the igloo, which look a little bit similar to the back, only they're more rounded at the top. We have two inner sections, which are full domes. We have the very middle section, which is the full dome with the penguin. And we have a strengthening bar, which is a very different shape from the normal strengthening bars, because this is a dome shape. We also give you an extra wee penguin, just in case you want to use them on the front of a card. We're going to start with our penguin section, and I find what's easiest is to start putting the side panels on first. So for this one, the very middle bottom of the slide panel you have a slot, and at the very edge of the penguin you have a slot. You then have, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, you have a slot at the top in the middle here, which will slot into this hook here. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to slot that hook in, and then I'm going to bend this card. Oops, as my hook comes out. I'm going to bend the card so that it slots in at the bottom. And then you have the first side panel of the igloo on. I'm going to do exactly the same at the other side. I'm going to put the slot in at the centre, at the top, and then all fingers and thumbs with this one. And then I'm going to bend the card so that it slots in at the bottom. Now they are actually now really sturdy now that they're on there. As it falls out. Shall I start that again? Rubbish.
You're going right to the very start?
I don't know, was there an appropriate junction?
And I can.
I talked through all the parts.
Alright, so go after that, so we're going to start with first.
Okay. Okay, go.
Right, so recording.
I'm going to start by taking the very middle section of the penguin here. And we're going to start by joining them onto one of the side panels. We're going to take the slot at the bottom here and the hook at the top here, and put these into the slot at the bottom here and this hook at the top here. I'm going to put the hook in, and then I'm going to bend this slightly so it goes into the bottom there, and that's that on firmly there. I'm going to do exactly the same at the other side. I'm going to put the hook through there, and then I'm going to bend it slightly so it fits in at the bottom. And that's our penguin with the first two side panels on. The front and back of the penguin, I'm then going to add these two sections, and they'll go in exactly the same way. They will hook into these bits at the bottom here with these slots, and hook into these slots at the top here with these ones. I'm going to push the bottom through and bend it so that the hook goes up at the top. And push the bottom through and then bend it so that the hook goes in at the top. I'm going to do exactly the same at the back of the penguin. And at the bottom, and bend it so it hooks at the top. And the last section, and at the bottom, and bend it at the top. Right, there you have the three middle panels and the two side panels. We then have the strengthening bar. We want to actually add that into the holes going through the bottom here and into the sections at the top here. Now this bit can be a little bit fiddly, but I find it really works well to give the structure some strength. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to thread it in and go over and under the sections at the bottom, which I know is a little difficult for you to see. If I turn it that way, so I've put the back section in, the section with the penguin in, and then I'm going to bend it up the way so that the very front section is in. So that's it threaded right along the bottom there. I'm then going to do exactly the same at the top. I'm going to push it under that back section and then over the section with the penguin and then under the front section to hook it all together. All we need to add now is the very back and the very front. The very back has 3 slots at the bottom that go over, under and over the edges here, and it has 3 slots at the top for hooking under these remaining hooks. Over the end section, the middle one and under the far end, and then just bend the card downwards to hook under the 3 hooks, and that's the back section in place. The front is the very same at the bottom with the 3 slots that go to these 3 slots, and this time just 2 hooks at the top. So over the far away edge, under for the centre one, and over at this edge, and then again just hook these at either side. Fold it perfectly flat to make sure that everything is in place, and then again in the opposite direction, and there you have a Jenigami Igloo.